Hey, you guys. Y'all still with us? Yes. This is my favorite segment of the show. Music is everything. It is my proud and huge honor to introduce this next guest. He goes by the name Devonair Rhymes, but he's so much more. He is, wow, how'd that happen? He is a producer, songwriter, musician, hip-hop artist, father, husband, music director, and he's also blessed me with some of his musical talent. He's a spiritual motivator. He's an innovator and an entrepreneur. He holds his family down. He holds his wife down, and he supports her in her dreams. And that's the biggest thing to my heart. Yep. Introducing Devonair Rhymes.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I accept that. Yeah. I'm grateful for that.
For sure.
And it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. So
for sure.
Yeah.
We glad to have you here. We're going to bog you down with some questions.
Man, what's up?
But we're going to let you live too, man.
Let's go. What? Let's do it.
We're going to let you live.
I'm fully with it.
But where you come from, you've been around for a while. Where, have you just got back into the country, or have you been gone for a minute? When did you get home?
Okay. Well, that's interesting. We can go a lot of ways with that. She said, when did you get home?
Yeah.
Well, what's home? Where's that?
Right,
no,
right.
But now I've been home for a long time. Now,
okay.
About 3 years that I've been back in the
country.
Oh,
okay.
For good.
Okay.
And we were gone my wife and I were gone for about three years or so.
Okay.
We were out. And that's how long we've been, home. That's
okay.
how long we've been home.
Tell me about some of your travels, like where you've been.
Oh man, we've been all around the world, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Some of the cool spots that we've been to China.
Hey.
We've been right, especially right now. Right? So
that was 3 years ago at least, though, y'all.
Right.
Stop
it was
playing.
more than that. So we've been to China. Yeah,
that don't work.
Right. Yeah. And you know what's funny about that? They wear masks out there all the time.
All the time.
I didn't even know.
And even in the nail shop.
Yeah. Even in the nail shop. So when you see it on TV and it's like they got on masks, it's like don't believe the hype. They always got on.
They always got on masks.
China. All through the Middle East, so Kingdom of Bahrain.
Yeah.
Shout out to Henry over where am I? Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
Yes.
Indonesia, Jakarta. I'm trying to think of the places.
And you've blessed every stage, every place that you just named.
Yeah,
you've blessed every stage.
Definitely.
Congratulations.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been wonderful.
That's huge.
And the people there are so warm and receptive. It's been wonderful. It's probably a lot of them tuning in online right now because I got, a lot of my bases overseas.
Yes.
So,
overseas friends. Who can we shout out quick?
Man, who's over there right now?
Or just the area?
Oh, all of those areas.
Okay.
All of those areas. We'll shout them out. Got to be careful because if I say what's up to one person, it's gonna start.
That's why I just say the area, honey.
Just everybody over there.
Down real quick.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who rock with the light. So that's what's up.
Okay, for sure. Yes, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I know you guys got a lot of love over there, so thank you for sharing that with us today for Devonair Rhymes.
Yes, indeed.
So
much love.
I love your journey. I love your story. I'm just going to talk to you like an old friend.
Come on now, that's what we are.
Because I love your story. Let me just even start out when I met you.
Okay.
Michael Wave.
Right.
Was my very, 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 very first producer when I was a young girl.
Okay.
And what did he told me that Chris Lane, his brother, needed someone to come out to Japan, or to replace someone, and I'm like, I'm with it. And I think it was like 3 months, and something happened that we didn't do it. We didn't do it that time, but I was in the middle of working on a project, and I needed help with the vocal production on it, and then I was interested in getting some other songs, and Chris actually referred me to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the first moment I talked to you, you were like, you need a writer because my wife writes. And
yeah, man. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he bought Okay.
Right.
Hey, nothing left behind.
For sure.
That's right.
And I had respect for that right away.
Dope. Thank
So
you.
that's how we met.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna monopolize it with that. We
Nah,
can get
it's
into
all
that.
love. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Chris. I mean, for the introduction and
Yeah.
everything else he did. Chris was an instrumental part of us going overseas. You know,
Yeah.
Chris had a huge part to do with that.
Yeah.
And we would have never been able to go overseas if it wasn't, for working with Chris.
Yeah.
So grateful for that. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So that's how we met. But can you tell me about when you actually got into music? What one day spoke to your soul?
Come on now. You know, okay, how much time we got?
Hey,
All right,
this is your time.
This much. Let me break it down. I love to tell this
Okay.
story. So initially, first I'll say I was born into music. It was a gift.
Okay.
I was born with the music in me.
Okay.
And it's been different parts of the journey, so I'm gonna share with that as we go. So
Okay.
I started off with my parents, who were musicians, and my parents had a band and sang with other people and played. So I was in studios all the time,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I grew up like that. I started off playing drums when I was 1. That's how the story goes. And it was boxes and spoons and pots and pans and all of that. And so I started off with that. So it evolved because I began to play drums in different places, and I was kind of like getting some visibility as far as, school and all that type of thing. And then I made it to a place where my teenage years.
Okay.
And so it's different stages to this now. It's different levels. So I'm going to let it all unfold.
Yeah.
So then I believe I bought I was listening to the radio, so I could hear some of my favorite hip-hop songs and stuff at the time.
Right.
You know, I had this little white clock radio. I grew up in Compton, so I was sitting there with my little
Hey.
white clock radio on my desk, listening to on my bookshelf, listening to songs on 1580 KD. And I bought my first rap album, my first hip-hop album. It was LL Cool J,
Hey.
Bigger and Deaf. It was LL Cool J. So when I heard that, I was like, man, I really liked it. I really liked what he was doing with the music. I Need Love. All the girls was liking that. I was like, this dude is getting all the attention.
I know.
He getting all the attention.
Ladies love Cool James.
Right. So, so I was digging that. So then that was kind of where I think I started. I learned his lyrics, but I started writing down some of, my own little lyrics and stuff like that. I had this orange little notebook. Then I went to, I'm trying to remember the chronology. I remember I went to the school called Davis,
Okay.
and at my junior high school. And so it was this guy in the band named David Blake, better known to the world as DJ Quick, right?
Oh.
And so I didn't even know he was famous. He would DJ the dances and stuff like that, but I remember somebody was like, you go to Davis? And I was like, yeah. Or you went to Davis? I was like, yeah. And they was like, well, do you know, this dude DJ Quick? And I was like, nah, I never heard of him.
Right.
But then they showed me a picture, and I'm like, yo, I know that dude. Like, he's in the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so he was famous. So of course that already had like a little fire started.
Yeah.
But that burst something in it. I felt like rap chose me. Like
Right.
it just kept choosing me.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I was like, okay. So that kind of like put in my, man, you could do this. I'm listening to his tapes and, like underground tapes or whatever. And then it was some point in there that I started fooling around on the keyboards. And my dad was like, well, if you're going to tinker with the keys, then you're going to have to put some discipline to it. And so I had to learn all my scales, all of my, technical aspects.
So
And
your dad was a musician as well?
my dad and my mom.
Okay.
No, my whole family is musicians.
Okay.
Like my mom, my
Okay.
dad, my brother, my sister's a dancer.
Okay.
So all of that, my mother, father, brother, and sister are musicians. All
Okay.
my kids are rapping. My oldest son is a DJ. My daughter, she don't rap no more, but she used to rap. She used to rap when I used to write her rap since she was younger.
A musical family.
Musical family, and of course, my wife, who's going to be on next week, is
Yes.
a monster, singing, writing,
Phenomenal.
everything. Yeah. So where was I? Back at the story.
So you were telling us how hip hop chose you.
Oh, right. Okay, hip hop.
But you were going into my next question, which is like, how does a hip hop artist become such a phenomenal musician, and you can produce R&B like nobody's business and gospel? Like, how does that happen? How do those two merge?
Okay, I'll put them in there.
Okay.
So I finished the first story. So then so I got to tell this part because this is my favorite part.
Okay.
So there's two favorite parts. So I remember, I said I liked LL, right? Now LL had a smooth name. So I was trying to think, okay, what's my smooth name going to be? So it's Debonair, right?
Okay.
So I came up with Debonair. So we had a crew. This is the Compton High School. We had a crew. We all played drums. We were the drummers in the band and all of this. And it was just fun. We hung out. We was homies. We rapped. We made music. And so shout out to all the homies that did music with me in that
Right.
space. So I had one of my homies, his name is JTN Crush. He's a rapper too.
Okay.
And he can draw.
Okay.
He was dope with drawing. He could draw dope stuff. And so I had this green notebook. And so he wrote my name on my notebook for me. Like, it was debonair. And I was like, yo, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. I'm on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm official. This is my official rap notebook.
name, right.
You know what I mean? And so that was that. And so then the last part of the story. So I'm walking through the living room and I see this video come on, and it's this dude, and he's in jail on the video, right? He's in jail.
Okay.
And there's two dudes on the stage in front of him, and he's a miracle of modern creation. Anyway, that's the verses that he's spitting, right? I just had to give that to whom it may concern.
Yeah, right.
So, so Ren and Dre, anyway, is rapping, and Easy's the one on the thing. And so then Easy come out, and he rapping, and I'm like, yo, like, so between Easy and DJ Quick and all of this, then they from the place, you know, they where I grew up, that's where they're from. So that's just telling me like, yo, you can do this.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because in that specific space, and I was in Moreno Valley at that time, and so I kind of grew up in two places, Moreno Valley and Compton, but that space where I grew up at specifically, that within like a 5-mile radius, you got so much firepower.
Yeah.
It's like Kendrick Lamar grew up like
the breeding ground.
Yeah, the game
for West Coast hip hop.
Yeah, so it's crazy, and not even all of Compton, but not even all of Compton, just even in that specific region. And to think that I grew up right here, you know, in this space, I mean, it's just in you. Yeah, you know. So like I said, it kept choosing me.
Yeah. Then you transitioned into music.
Right. Okay. I get excited. So
that's all right. I'm here to keep you on track.
I appreciate it.
We gonna get the people what they came for
I was
today.
just talk.
You're tuned into Drip the Mic Network, 2020 Vision, baby. We sitting here with Devin Rhymes. He's gonna spend some time with us and continue sharing his journey and dropping his jewels. But go ahead, let you know
the music.
Yes.
Okay. So. It was a couple of places. So like I said, it started off with drums. I was just a natural gift. My parents had to tell me to stop practicing. Okay. Like, you know, not trying to make me practice. Like, yo, can you just stop playing for a few minutes? I just loved it. I'd fall asleep. Anyway, so Pops was on me about the keys because I just started fooling around trying to learn some songs. I was learning I'll Be Sure and Key Sweats and Jodeci. You know what I mean? And then he was like, you know, practice the scale. So then I started listening to like Chick Corea and people like this and just learning it note for note, just straight off the top. No, no training, no nothing, just kind of figuring it out and sorting it out as I go. Okay. And then it was that. So we got some musical gear, some production gear. Right, we got some production gear from somebody at the church that we used to go to. Okay. And so Pops had set up a little music room in the house, a studio. So I would just go in there and start, you know, trying to make some little, stuff I heard on the radio or whatever. And it sounded halfway decent. I had a good ear for it, but I was learning the technical part. And in doing that, I just never stopped.
So you said that you started showing yourself scales and everything on the keys?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, no, I didn't start showing myself first. I was taught. So So I first learned that my dad knows theory. He's a theory genius.
Yes.
So
music theory for those who are not into the music theory. Go ahead.
So he gave me the foundation of teaching me the scales. My mom, she was a vocal coach, vocal trainer, and all of that. So I would just sit and listen. Yes. And a lot of times I'd be playing or doing something else, but I could sit and listen and hear the things that she was teaching her students. Okay. So she would teach them like these vocal patterns and stuff, but I could practice that as dexterity exercises. Okay. So I still use a lot of that stuff to this day. So I got so much from my parents in learning as a foundation, and I was just able to take it and build up on it, you know. And as my brother got better at drums, it just kind of pushed me more to the keys, because whenever we would play, we play together. Yeah. And he played the drums, so I jump on the keys. And so we started. My first gig ever was my mom had me play for the youth choir at the church we used to go to, and the children's choir at the church we used to go to. And it was a big church, and they was all dressed up, and it was a whatever. But anyway, you talk about blowing it. I blew it in the most major way. I got so nervous. I swallowed my gum. It was so bad that she had to stop the whole song and tell us, okay, we're going to try this again. Right. We're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to go from the top, you know.
Look, I always had a question.
Okay.
Like, I always hear vocalists and, they all sound good. But, like, if you can't sing and you go to a vocal coach, is that going to help you?
Teach you how to sing?
Yeah. Like, I've heard some people and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
But
believe
if
so.
you go to a vocalist, are they going to teach me how to
I'll
sing?
let you answer
Can I
first.
answer?
You can answer
And then
first,
you can go-
and then I'm gonna
okay.
answer something.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
you
here's
go.
the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to break it down, not to get too technical,
No.
Yeah.
but there's two aspects to everything.
Okay.
There's creative and tech, right? So the creative is usually the visible part. Like if I had to think the Neptunes, for real is the creative, Chad is the tech. A lot of people don't know Chad, right? So it's these two parts. So with singing, when you go to a vocal coach, they can help you with all of the tech. They can give you all of the ability to utilize your control, to extend your range, to practice your tone and all of that. But there's a part that comes in the front of that, which is creative, and that's the part that's usually seen. So I feel like on the creative part, nobody can necessarily teach you how to create because it's your creation.
Right.
However you want to express that idea or feeling or translate that energy. But they can teach you the tech part to go behind what you do. So yes, you can get better as far as the technical aspect, but as far as the creativity, that's going to come from you and your connection with God and how you do your thing and express energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
What he said.
Is that cool?
What you said.
I know a
'Cause
lot of people that need some help.
I mean, like he said, the technical part. I do believe that anyone can be taught technically to sing.
Okay.
But just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
Everyone's voice is not for everybody. Some would say Mary can't sing, but we love Mary. You know what I mean? So I think it's the energy that you bring to it. We were talking about that last week, how we have to remember,
entertainer all the way around.
and we have to imitate other singers in order for someone to say, "Oh, you
that
can
girl
sing.
can sing.
That girl
Yeah.
can sing."
Got you.
But
And
if you
being a
sing,
singer don't make you an artist.
true that. Come on, talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Being a singer don't make you an artist.
Hallelujah.
So right. So a lot of people want to quantify singing. Like you could be the best church singer in the whole church.
Right,
You can
right,
sing
right.
all the solos
Right,
and everything.
right.
But that don't make you an artist.
Doesn't make you an
so
artist.
I feel like your ability to be an artist is going to be based upon your ability to move energy and impact people.
That's right.
And that's
That's
what
right.
makes you an artist.
And
So
ride that
people can say
frequency.
Mary can't sing. Yeah, Mary might can't sing, but she probably sold more records than
Than
a lot
everybody.
of people you know.
And everybody.
Yeah.
And she rides that frequency very well.
Totally.
She stays on it every
And she
year.
can kick that boot this high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like you came from a long list of legends,
Okay.
and in your family.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like you're going to have a great legacy
That's
to
the
leave,
plan.
and a legacy while you're here as well.
Bingo.
But definitely a legacy to leave.
Working at that. That's the idea.
Right.
Definitely that's what's important. And I feel like my view of it is I'm one link in a long chain of humanity. We
Right.
all are, ideally. And if we think of it from our ancestors and their contribution, like whatever space I'm at, my idea is that the people that come after me transcend that space
Right.
and go higher.
Right.
One of the prayers that I pray every day is I pray that the highest aspect of our being transcend the mental constructs that no longer serve us. And I pray
Say that
that
again.
the highest aspect of our being
Slow it down.
the highest aspect of our being
Okay.
transcends the mental constructs that no longer serve us.
Okay, which means?
Which means that we go past where we are. I feel like you have the spiritual self. We talked about creative
Yeah.
and tech.
Yeah.
And in this sense, the mind would be the tech and the spirit would be the creative.
Yes.
And the idea is to say, okay, the spirit has to transcend the mind. The mind is how we function. The mind is our collection of ideas, experiences, analysis, deductions, our feelings, our metrics, whatever metrics that we've gathered in life. And a lot of times you can recreate the same thing that you've experienced because you're operating in your mind.
Right.
If you want to go to a space that you haven't been, you have to transcend your mind and operate in your spirit.
Come on.
And so that's
right.
the idea. So one of the creeds, my big creed, the whole thing that my whole artistry is based on is the idea of spread light. And my idea for spread light is spirit in control of body and mind, why you intentionally do what you can to impact the design.
That's right.
And that's the idea, and that's how we transcend our mind with our spirit.
When
All
you
right.
find yourself when you find yourself creating, is it a certain aspect that you like better as far as producing, writing, or actually being behind the scene or in front of the scene?
I love that question. Okay, so I'm going to answer. Can I answer kind of broad and then narrow down?
Answer that question.
Can you hold it?
I will.
And
I
you know
will.
what? I want to tap on to what you just said.
Okay.
Let's hear Legacy.
Oh, bingo. Legacy.
My family genes is true religion. Motivated by street talking and hooping Christians. Once blinded by superstition, wishing a ribbon in the sky would tie me to my vision. I wondered, is my living in vain? Is my living in vain? I know one day I'll be gone. Will they mention my name? Will they talk about my smiles or my tension and pain? Or how I spread light to the world, receiving peace in exchange? This my conscience speaking, this my conscience thinking. My brain spilling, my spirit like my condom leaking. I'm pregnant with vision, labeled with living for legacy. BC's and essays for ignorance, test to me. What they say when I'm gone is that I ran the human race, then drop the relay baton, careful to pass it on, and I live life. Destiny's plight response, please just live life for lives that echo beyond me, then that's legacy. All I wanna do is leave a legacy, that's legacy. Live good, spread light, live good, we a legacy. All I wanna do is leave a legacy, that's legacy. Live good, spread light, hey, guided by light. This is the plight. Knowledge excites, passion ignites the soul of an individual seeking the right. I'm willing to fight all the ignorance I have been witnessing as I watch some intentional plots. Breaking down other culture to niggas and thoughts. Ignorance is prevailing when wisdom is not. Using my hands intelligent, watching the clock. So I live wise, speak wise, know thyself. Inspire others to grow while I grow myself. Love and light is the currency, I grow my wealth. What man can change this world is what I told myself. So I'm fighting off the demons, evading those that scheming. Earth, wind, or fire, live by my reasons. I keep believing life has a meaning. Spring but no fall, live in my season. California dreaming, down the road I'm easing. A lion, the Tin Man was a hustler, his death is treason. And Scarecrow, suspect activity with his leaving. Staple sinners, that's twice in a decade that's filled with grieving. And that's enough to offend you to run the victory lap while the marathon continues. And that's enough to offend you to run the victory lap while the marathon continues. That's legacy. All I wanna do is leave a legacy. That's legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. I'm a legacy. All I wanna do is leave a legacy. You a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. And that's legacy. All I wanna do is leave a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. I'm a legacy. We a legacy. You a legacy. Now that's legacy. Genius.
Yes. And we're back. You've tuned into Drip the Mic Network 2020 Vision. Any questions or comments, you can call in at 646-378-0355. Press 1 to be heard, to raise your hand. Anybody that's tuned in on YouTube or Facebook or Periscope, chat it up with us. We're here for you. We want to hear what you got to say, questions and comments. We're taking them. And we're back with Devanir Rhymes.
Yeah, we're back.
I'm sorry. Can you answer that question, that very beautiful question that you...
What was the question?
Crystal, what was the question?
So the question was, when you find yourself creating, since you've did so much as far as producing, songwriting, working in front of the scene, behind the scene, which one did you enjoy most?
Oh, okay. That was. Are you getting good signal on me? Because I feel like I moved the mic down. I want to make sure. I just got to make sure I'm not setting the sound man up to.
I hear that.
Okay. All right.
Because we want to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I said I was going to answer it broad and then bring it down in. Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to answer that this way. There are 6 human needs. It's certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. Right. Now, I feel like it's very important to define how you fulfill each one of these things. You asked me which one, what place do I like more? And the way that I fulfill my need for significance is my ability to add value and be recognized for it. So whatever I'm doing that adds value, that's cool with me. It might be that I'm making a beat. It might be that I'm just giving the track confidence.
Right.
You know, maybe somebody did a track and they just don't know if it's hot or not. So
Right,
I just
right.
sit there and bow my head. And that gives them what they need to
That
be
confirmation.
Like, that confirmation, yeah. Or it might be all in. You know, it might be producing the vocals or whatever it is. So it's just whatever's needed. I don't really have a preference. I think that what I find personally is I have a need for being able to do these different parts at different times. If I find myself doing one thing only too much, then I seek to do something else, and it kind of balances it for me. Maybe that's just the Libra part. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Any questions, comments from the chat group over there?
There is a question. I think it is for Debonair.
Yes.
With all the accomplishments you have, what is your next goal?
Great question. I have a couple of next goals. My first goal, I'll just talk about. I guess next means next, right?
Right.
Yes.
So I have a single coming out Tuesday. It's called God's Got Me.
Yeah.
And I have a list of goals specifically targeted for the launch of that. If you've been following me on Instagram, it's been a launch campaign that I engaged in. So I'm at the countdown, and this is 2 days until launch, obviously, which is Tuesday is the launch.
Okay.
So I intend to increase my engagement on Instagram by 30%
Okay.
by March 31st.
Okay.
Smart goal.
Yes.
Right? I intend to increase my Spotify following by 2,000 plays per month with the new single starting, after the launch, after it comes out by March 31st. I also want to get 200 new Spotify followers. So if you're listening, add me to your playlist, Devonair Rhymes. I got dope music to continue giving you.
Right.
And my fault. I thought you were showing me something.
No worries.
And that's 2 of the goals. So you said next goal, so that's the next 2 goals. But there's some more goals related to the launch of that one. And then I'm coming right behind God's Got Me with Genius. And that's the title track off the album.
Yes.
So I'm excited to share that.
Yes, I want to talk about that movement, Genius Movement. I was going to bring that up. But right before I do that, I wanted to bring in the, I don't want to do that. I would like to,
Never mind.
I want to talk about your, I do want to talk about Genius. I want to talk
Go.
about this movement
Bingo.
that you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I just go?
Yeah,
Should
just
I
go.
Oh, okay.
Just
I'll
go.
just go. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Genius is obviously Genius is a way for me to intentionally take my experiences, take my life experiences and my ideas and my energy and translate that into something that is meaningful to contribute to others. And that's what I consider to be a place of genius.
Right.
I know that a lot of people are able to throw around the term, this person is a genius.
Genius,
This
right.
person. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how it relates to you. But one thing that I find to be consistent is that the person that is considered to be a genius is usually sharing something of value to the person that considers that they are a genius.
A genius.
So that's the rule for me. So my story starts with regards to the Genius album. I've extensively studied story.
Okay.
So in studying story, I mean, and when I say studying story, I'm talking about the hero's journey specifically, and these different scenes that happen, even as we watch some of our favorite movies like Avatar, or Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. These all follow a specific sequence of events. I find this to be the same that happens in life.
Right.
So much so to the point that you can control the story, or I should say move the story forward by knowing where the story
Ends. That's right.
Yeah. And so a lot of people find themselves stuck in a story. I feel like frustration happens when our reality is not our idea of what we want it to be.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when our fantasy and our reality aren't the same, when our idea and our reality aren't the same, that's where we get frustrated.
Yeah.
And so that's just many times you're just not at that part of the story yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of people look at the end of the story and be like, that's where I want it to be. It's like, well, you didn't go through all the steps to get to that
To get to
part.
it, to the end.
Yeah.
Right.
So much so even to, it's been times like I remember one specific time, okay, my wife and I, we fantastic. We have a lovely, great relationship.
Right.
But like any married couple, I remember one day we had this argument. And so we had an argument, and so I'm sitting there on the couch, and she's in the room, and we're on different pages, right? And I realized, okay, the story is stuck right now.
Okay.
So I got 2 options. I could be in my feelings,
Right.
or I can say, how does this story move forward?
Okay.
Now, the first scene in any story is the ordinary world, right? So we start with the ordinary world, and then there's a call to adventure.
Right.
And the call to adventure was the argument that we had. I don't remember what it was over now, but I do remember it was an argument. So that's the call to adventure. After the call, and this is all Act 1. After
Okay.
the call to the adventure, it's a refusal of the call, which is where I was at that specific moment. The refusal of the call is, I just want to stay in my feelings, I ain't going to do
Right.
nothing. Or I can engage in this call to adventure, which is something greater than me that has put me into a space that I'm forced to respond to. Life will never go back to being the same. I
Yeah.
have to move forward. At this point, I'm forced to. So I intentionally said, okay, the next scene would be meeting the mentor. And the mentor is somebody who's accomplished what it is I'm seeking to accomplish with this specific endeavor.
Yes.
So I thought to myself, who would be the mentor?
Right.
I thought my parents. They've been married since they met in junior high school.
Wow.
So here's
didn't
who
know
I
that.
need to go talk to.
Yeah.
So I get in the car and I go talk to my mom and dad, and they tell me, some ideas and give me some perspective that I couldn't even thought of myself.
Right,
I
right.
come back, and now we work right through that. Whatever the issue was, and now we crossed the threshold,
Okay.
which brought us to Act 2. So story is a big part. So the Genius story starts specifically at. I'll start with the peak drama on the album. It's a peak drama. The peak drama was I was in the crazy house, right? So there was a moment that I was in the crazy house. So that's where it starts. It starts about that moment of what happened. So
Wait a minute.
yeah,
Real life? We're not talking about real life.
we're talking about real life.
All right. Well, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, wait, back up. Crazy house. Wait, what
Okay,
happened?
so here's what happened. So about I don't remember how many years ago now it was, but it was a long time ago. But I was in a bad situation. I was basically trapped. You can think of yourself as trapped in choices that you made that weren't smart choices or whatever. Situations, choices, whatever you did. So what I did was I came up with probably one of the stupidest ideas I ever came up with, which was I was going to try to take a bunch of pills. So
Oh,
I
okay.
took a bunch of pills, and of course, when you take a bunch of pills,
Yeah.
you wind up in one or two places,
Right.
dead or in the crazy house.
Right, 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 right.
Well, I didn't die, so I went
Went
to the
to
crazy
the
house.
crazy house, right.
So in the crazy house, the first thing I realized is I ain't crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Usually that's the first thing people realize.
I ain't crazy. I had a bad day.
I had a
but I
bad
ain't
day. I
crazy.
might have been
Yeah,
depressed a
I
little
ain't
bit, but I ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you begin to realize, as you go through life that you are enough. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You are enough.
That's
And
right.
I heard you say that on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
That you are enough. And a lot of times
Right.
you can feel like you're not enough.
Yeah.
And you're not. But that's why it's so important to know your story, because if you're looking at a part of the
Say
story
that.
that you're not,
That's right.
you're analyzing yourself or comparing yourself to somebody who's in another part
Right.
of their story.
Yeah. Yes.
So in discovering that, I went through a series of processes to find where I can grow and all this kind of stuff as I did, and now I'm contributing all of these things back, and that's why in doing that, it makes you have no shame. It makes you have
That's
nothing
right.
like that. It's like my experiences might help somebody else who's in a
Absolutely.
space in my story, or in a similar space as I might have been in my story. So
Yeah,
That's-
it's really good to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Just we think about the music industry, the entertainment industry as a whole.
right.
A lot of people, do a lot of drugs and
Right.
wind up getting strung out, wind up dying of drug overdoses, wind up going crazy, and you say these are strong people.
Strong people.
These people are not weak.
Right.
I know personally, even where I'm at in my career, that like the things that we go through, the struggles, the ups and downs, the emotional roller coasters,
Sure.
and really what it is at its most rawest form is that it's your heart
It's your heart.
sitting out here
Bingo.
for everybody to judge
Yeah.
and say if it's good enough or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's enough to drive a person mad
Sure it is.
every day.
Sure it is.
So these people that are falling soldiers, man, they fought a good fight. Like,
sure.
and so you have to wonder what goes on in the industry
Right.
that makes us fall on our own swords all the damn time. Like,
Right.
what is that?
Right.
And I was thinking about, you're a traveling musician as well, right? So
right.
you were touring with Faith Evans?
I'm doing that now. But
Okay.
But then I had just finished. Well, I think I was still in my deal, or I don't know. But
Okay.
It was around that time.
Okay.
But I did a publishing deal with Windswept,
Okay.
who is a huge publishing company.
Okay.
Beyonce knows these are people that are publishing mates of Windswept or were at the time.
Okay.
And then I did a production deal with my cousin. Like we were talking about
Okay.
we were talking about family.
Okay.
My cousin is Shakespeare,
Oh.
who produced Bills, No Scrubs, Bugaboo.
Okay.
All of
Yes.
the Destiny's
Yes.
Child's
Yeah.
writing
The
on-
Destiny's
yeah.
Child's hitters.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hitters. and
The
way more than
bangers.
that. Yeah, bangers. And way more than that. Like, Sinead O'Connor, I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
He,
Right.
Pink, all of that. That
Okay.
was him. And so being able to be in that space, man, I learned tremendous amounts because I did the deals with him. And so it was around that time. Shortly after that, that's where I was at that time. Yeah.
Okay. And so was it the pressures of the industry in any kind of
Nah,
way?
that was easy. I mean, that was easy because like I said, I feel like it was a God's gift as far as the talent aspect of it. I was in a space where my talent had far transcended my personal growth,
Okay.
which is a dangerous space to
yeah, I know
be. Yeah.
about that.
So talent-wise, I was one of the probably, at that time,
most
considered
sought off
to-
there.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
just considered to be like, yo, this is. I had people specifically say like, yo, you're the next guy. Right? And so, and I ain't lost a step. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's still that. But now I feel like it took this long for my personal growth to catch up to the talent that I had. The talent hasn't slowed down at all, but the personal growth just had to speed up.
That's right.
To catch up with it.
Yeah.
In your arena,
Uh-huh.
do you see a lot of mental instability? Are people not
Absolutely.
really addressing their mental health?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're, as an artist, and we're all artists
Yes.
in some kind of way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But as an artist, your responsibility is to control tremendous amounts of energy.
Okay.
We measure that.
Yes.
The metric is by how big is your audience, right?
Wow.
And so we control these large amounts of energy. I mean, you guys been to a concert when somebody's like, yo, everybody put
your hands in the air.
Right,
and
right,
it goes
Like,
up.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
it's like you got all of these
Right.
people. Power comes
Right.
from agreement.
that's right.
So you got all of these people agreeing with whatever
That's
the
right.
idea is
That's
at
right.
that moment.
Yep.
And so this happens consistently. But can you imagine when you're experiencing that, whether it's on stage, whether it's a beat and everybody's rocking with you, and then you have a moment where you're not experiencing
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's
Everybody
mute.
hands down.
Yep.
everybody hands down.
Yeah.
Or somebody says something bad about you.
Right.
And then you begin to go back and forth
Yes.
between these-
Questions your creativity.
yeah, and then it's hard to deal with. Well, a lot of the people that I found are extremely nice, extremely kind,
Right.
and cool people. It's usually never the people that you see
Absolutely.
that are bad. Now, don't get me wrong. It's probably some very negative, horrible people. I'm not saying everybody's good.
Right,
I've heard some horror stories. I just haven't met them myself.
Right. That's right.
But usually it's the people that are able to capitalize or gain
That's
or
right.
benefit even from those people
Go on and talk
that
about
are
it.
tough.
Go on and talk about
that,
it.
That makes it difficult for other people. So that's what I find.
Have you ever worked with somebody who you thought they were probably cool, but at the end of the day, they were not spiritually vibing with you?
I can't say I've ever had that experience. Yeah, I can't say.
You're a viber.
Everybody I work with. My wife says it's funny because she's like, she's the one who's like, that person gonna make me put hands on her, right? Because she's like, I'm just like so smiley and happy all the time or whatever. So it really rubs her, and she'd be like, "You didn't see how they was?" I was like, "I didn't even see it." If they had any negative energy towards me, I didn't even see it.
See, Amira, that's me.
What?
I don't even be seeing it. I'll be like, they said, oh, that what they was doing? Oh, I didn't even see that shade.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Maybe my sunglasses too bright.
Hey,
Right.
you're not
My
looking.
sunglasses blocking that.
You're not looking for it.
I
You
ain't
know what I
looking
mean?
for it,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, you're a total viber. I mean, we had a great time working.
Yeah,
Your wife came down. We all,
Oh, man.
we were like old friends right away. You
Right
know what I
off the
mean?
top.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's funny because I remember even the day that we were all sitting there, me, Jay, you, and Henry, we were sitting there, we was talking, and then it's so funny because even to this day, if you were to call and we get in the convo, it's like you would think that a wife would be like, "Yo, you on the phone?" It's like, oh, that's Amira.
That's me. Oh, I get it.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
It's like, y'all probably might be talking about spirituality.
Well, both your spouse and my spouse was there to witness it.
Right,
They saw it. They was
right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah, right.
She talked just as much as he do. She on that spiritual crystals and healing and energy thing like he is. Oh Lord, here they go.
It's all love.
You
It's
need
all
to win them
love.
crystals.
Huh?
I need a crystal.
Oh yeah, Crystal. You do need a crystal.
Yeah, I need a
Crystal.
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 There it is.
Exactly. Her name is my alias. Like,
Wow, really?
like not like I have a real alias.
Right.
But when I was single, once upon a time,
Uh-huh.
when you be in a club and you don't want to talk to the dude or whatever,
Yeah.
they're like, "What's your name?" I'd be like, "Crystal."
Wow. Wow.
I mean, that's
Because
better
to
than what I've
me,
heard.
if I wouldn't have been named Amira, it would have been Crystal.
Wow.
I like Amira.
But I'm saying, if I wouldn't have been named that, you want to trade for today?
Man, I need to trade because I'm serious. Like, at least you said you use that as like a backup.
alias.
I mean, I'm hearing all kind of stuff. Oh, that's a stripper name.
No,
like,
I've never heard
I'm
of
like,
a
me
stripper
neither.
named Crystal.
That's what I said. I'm like, when was this lady stripping? Like,
Yeah. I don't have a strip.
Right, I know you don't have it.
man, I don't either.
But you say you're on tour right now with Faith Evans.
Yeah, when we go out,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're doing, and she's super cool to work with. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's good.
The whole team, awesome people, like awesome people. Not only musically, energy wise, it's just super dope. And honestly, oddly enough, that's somebody that that's someone who Faith, I'm talking about.
Okay.
And Stevie, both of them.
Faith and
are
Stevie Wonder.
Faith
Stevie
and
J.
Stevie J.
Stevie J.
Yeah, Stevie J, her husband.
Faith Evans and Stevie J.
Yeah,
Okay.
Faith
All
Evans
right.
is the- well,
Okay.
Faith
Faith
J,
J is the-
technically.
right,
Faith
Faith-
J now.
yeah,
so
Faith J, yep.
and Stevie J.
Yeah.
But both of them are, I mean, just being around them, you just
Yeah.
learn. Like,
Yes.
you just learn.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
watching them handle situations, like, I'm talking about, like, professional stuff that
Yes.
you do. Like, one time we went on stage, and nobody would know that right before we went on stage, we had the worst sound man ever in life. Like, the worst sound man ever in life. Not front of house, because my brother Benny Black does the front of house.
Okay.
He's dope.
Okay.
But this time we didn't bring our normal guy that does the stage sound.
Right.
So
Okay.
it was
Right.
just whoever was at the venue we were at. And I ain't gonna put him out there like that.
No.
But whoever was at the venue we
What
was
venue
at,
What's
was
his
this?
name?
Yeah.
It's like,
Let me write it down. Look, put it on this piece of paper.
whoever was
You
at
know
the
I'm looking for
venue-
venue. I don't want him.
whoever was at the venue we were at, they messed up, and I guess it was somebody who hadn't done it in a long time. He was just trying to come back and felt he knew everything. That was the big problem. He felt like he knew everything.
right.
Those are the
Anyway, the
worst.
board broke and all of this. We didn't get a sound check and all of this. So the whole first verse of the first song, her mic's not even on.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But no sweat.
Did y'all have
like,
to vanilla it?
No, it really was
Wait,
no mic on.
Don't be saying Faith Evans and
Nah,
Millie,
it was no
Millie
mic- it
Vanilli.
was no
That ain't
mic
even in the
on.
same
Nah,
sentence.
nah.
I'm just saying
Nah,
sometimes
nah.
stuff happens. I need to know
Nah,
if we
that's
had
Faith
delay.
Evans.
Nah, she can go. She can go.
She-
vocals.
Faith-
Okay.
That's
She
Faith
can
Evans,
awesome.
honey.
But her mic wasn't on, and so she just kept rocking. And but it got so bad that finally we had to stop the whole
Right.
thing. And she gave, and it was so poised. It was like, hey, I'm gonna give, and she basically hit it
That's
off like,
beautiful.
are y'all having a good time? It's like, we're gonna give them 10 minutes to kind of get the sound together and come back and do it and rock it flawless, no sweat, no nothing, everything. And just even watching something like
Had
that.
the show started? The show had started?
We was on
Yeah.
stage.
Okay,
We
okay.
was on stage.
So this is
rocking.
not a sound check.
This
This
ain't
ain't-
sound.
yeah,
We didn't
yeah.
get a sound check.
Oh.
Because I told you we had the worst situation ever that day with the guy that we were
Okay,
dealing with.
yeah.
So we didn't even get a sound check, and it wasn't due to us. It was with
Right.
some technical problems that they were dealing with. So just to say that,
So it was like, let's just go and see what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
yeah, well, we tried to do it as fast as we could as we started the song.
Right.
But I mean, it's only so much.
There's only so much you can
It's
do
only
at
so
that
much you
moment.
can do, yeah.
But
And
she was
so-
gracious.
Oh man, on
good.
point. And the problem was, like I said, everybody can put together and work it, but this
Right.
specific guy knew all the answers. So when he's getting
Ah.
information to help him, he's like, no,
He
no,
not
no,
even
no,
listening
no.
to that.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is it, and it's like, bro, it's not it. So anyway, we did get it fixed. We rocked the show. Everybody had a dope experience,
That's
and that's
good.
what matters at the end of the day.
When you're
Shout out
working
to
with-
Faith
Hey
That's
man, she's
good.
dope.
and Stevie J.
They're
Yes.
both dope.
So-
Monsters.
So that union didn't surprise you at all, or
I don't know why it would surprise me. I
No,
mean,
I
I like whatever. I know like the shows and stuff.
Right.
But I
Right.
never really watch the shows.
Right.
So
That's
I
what I
don't
was
know
going to
nothing
ask
that.
you about
Yeah.
the shows. Like, does that show or any shows that when you're working with people, does that interfere with your connection with the other
I don't watch
artists?
TV.
Okay.
So,
Me neither.
so it don't really phase me. Your energy is whatever you give to me.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what I experience. You know what I mean?
so you
I'm not an
experienced it
expert.
authentically between them. There was never anything to taint that view.
Nah, never.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dope.
Good.
It's strong and dope, and everything is, wonderful as
Yeah.
far as I can tell. So
Yeah.
that's what I know.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on nobody.
Yeah.
Like, you know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on nobody.
Yeah.
But my main thing is I don't in any space, whatever the space is.
Yes.
I don't get caught up in hype. So I don't, like I said, I don't watch TV. I don't need anybody else's interpretation of whatever they
Of
think.
your
It's
relationship.
like,
yeah.
my
Yeah.
whatever I
Right.
experience. is
Yeah.
what I
But now they're not
experience.
filming with you, though.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not.
No,
in
we're
that
not
point.
about to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not.
No,
He
I'm
not-
just saying, like, if I'm
Oh,
on
the
a show,
show.
are they there?
Yeah.
You know, filming or anything?
Oh, nothing like
Interfering?
that.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to be on TV. So if anybody's watching for to do TV, cast me on TV. I would love to do that.
A
but
TV show or a reality
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
it's all the same to me. It's
Put it
like-
out there.
Yeah,
Say what
TV
you want.
No, I'm
You
just
know what
saying,
I
don't-
say. Speak it
don't-
into it.
I don't know. I don't know what the
You haven't created it yet?
I haven't manifested it yet.
Well, then how's somebody gonna give you something that you
Yeah.
don't even have in your vortex yet? You gotta
Here's
create
what
it
I
first.
want. I want to show.
All right, come on.
I want to show that shows the building of a career
Okay.
of a married couple that are both talented
Okay.
and working together
Absolutely.
in the music business.
That's all
to
right.
build their careers.
I would watch that.
like that. Would
Right.
you?
I would watch
I
that.
got an idea for that. We had a song. My wife and I did a song,
Okay.
and it's called "Fight for Me."
Oh, okay.
And the song was just on a whim. we just, made a couple of moves online. She did, specifically, she moved it.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell Simmons had this thing going on at the time, and he
Yeah.
wound up picking up the song.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, this is, and so when we
Right.
talked to the people there, I think Samsung had did a deal with them or something. So anyway, they were playing it on the Samsung radio and stuff.
Okay.
And so the guy said, he said, a husband and wife writing team. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, maybe it's very interesting.
I'm with it.
Maybe this should be on television.
I'm with it. It's here.
Yeah.
We said it. We gonna meet and agree on it.
Manifested.
That's
Bingo.
right.
There it
It's-
is.
and it's done.
Right.
And it's done. I need a favor.
Talk to me.
There's a song called Genius that I want to play.
Oh, please.
I need
do.
you to set that up for us so we
Okay.
can introduce
Okay.
that track.
Okay, Genius is the title track off of the album Genius. First, I'll tell you a little bit about the record. The record it has a sound of the African drums.
Oh.
It starts with the African drums. One of the things that I experienced around the world
Wow.
is meeting a lot of African people.
That's right.
And I didn't know that the connection was so strong with the space that we've all come from.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're told here many times that they feel some type of way about us or some
Right.
divide. It's not. It's nothing but love.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing but oneness. And so I really wanted to bring that in the record because this record is about discovering your true authentic self, who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to dig deep down and say, yo, all of the experiences I went through, all the choices that I made, if I wanted to put scripture to it, I could say all things work together for good if I
Good.
wanted to say that.
Right.
But you bring it all together. And this is the part of you that is a genius because you're able to share this. So that African part, the roots, that's included in the music. My wife's included on the hook saying genius. That's whose voice you hear. And the lyrics are about the moment. This one is not a specific story in that song. The entire album is a story, and some songs are stories in themselves.
Right.
This song is a moment about understanding and realizing and knowing, yo, I'm a genius, and I'm going to share this. The inspiration in this song that I want people to find is to know whatever you experience, whatever you've been through, whatever you're dealing with or whatever you dealt with, that's something that can make you better, and that's something that you can use to share with other people to help them evolve and transcend and be better. And that's my contribution, one of my contributions, as well as I want other people to contribute to the world to make it better. So, genius.
There we go. Without further ado, Genius.
Making something out of nothing, I did it. Hard work, dedication, commitment. Odds was 1,000,000 to 1 and I took it. That's straight and that's narrow. This road is so crooked and lick it. They say I'm dreaming. I can't believe them. Don't trust them, don't need them. My courage is in this. I march to my freedom. Promise that my heart does not pump no Kool-Aid. Negative Nancy. Don't care what you say. I am the influence. I am the hope for the future. My mind is the weapon. As hard as the shooter. And who? I go the hardest. I go the highest. Do not come against me. I warn you, don't try this. I do it right now. That's no opportunity wasted. Wow, that's cause I'm a genius.
Yeah, and I've been through too much, I can never fail. This pain only made me stronger, I can tell. They say I'm crazy, cause I'm building my dreams. Right, but I know what they really mean is I'm a genius.
Yeah. Genius. 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 I am enough. I am a genius. Yeah. Genius. 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 I'm the anomaly, that's just the guy to me. Losing is not for me. Who's stopping me? I'm what they wanna be. I went and got the key, opened the gate. I don't know why they plot on me. I do the work, the philosophy stronger than Samson, smarter than Socrates. Focus on chopping anything down that is working on blocking me. Yeah, I am a monster. I am a beast. I am a genius, smart as the streets. I let Nigerian blood from my ancestors flow through this beat. I am elite, doing my part for the victory. I'm making history, doing it now. That's no opportunity wasted. Wow, that's cause I'm a genius.
Yeah, and I've been through too much, I can never fail. This pain only made me stronger, I can tell. They say I'm crazy, cause I'm building my dreams. But I know what they really mean is I'm a genius.
Genius. Genius. Genius. I am enough. I am a genius. Genius. Yeah. Genius.
Genius. Genius. Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah, man.
That was dope, man. Tell me, I know you've told me about the motivation behind it. Man, genius.
Yeah.
Genius. You know.
Yeah.
Where did you make that here? Or were you in the country? Or?
No, I was in the country when I made that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it was based on a lot of experiences and meeting and connecting with people from Africa specifically. And Africa is a continent. It's not a country. So I'm, when I say Africa, I'm just trying to generalize.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, all over the world, and meeting these different people, specifically from I'm not even gonna do that,
Right.
but everywhere, right? And it's nothing but love. It's nothing but warmth. It's like meeting your brothers. It's like a family reunion.
Yes.
You like, yo, and you see somebody, and so much so to the point where I can look at African Americans, and I can look many times. I can be like,
Oh, you look like such
yeah,
and
you
such.
from Nigeria, or you from Ethiopia,
Yeah.
as far as ancestrally speaking,
right.
because you can see the similarities. So, and I'm for all of mankind.
Yes,
I understand that,
that's
but I do
right.
believe that you have to know even. You got to know
Where you
gotta
come
know
from.
where you come from,
Yep.
and you got to be able to connect with that. That makes your roots strong.
It's very important to you finding yourself and reconnecting with yourself,
Bingo, yeah.
remembering yourself.
Remembering.
That's right.
That's it. And
That's
knowing
right.
what you. That's right. I'm just leaving right there.
Because we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do this for like 20 more minutes.
Right.
I'm gonna be fair, and there's some questions from the
Okay,
internet.
Okay.
What you got over there, Tina?
Okay, this is for Debonair.
All ears.
As a creator, do you experience writer's block? And if you do, how do you inspire to get back on
To
track?
get past writer's block. How do I get past writer's block?
Yes, if you get it.
Okay, yeah, I do occasionally find myself with the inability or with the blockage. When I find writer's block, it's okay. That happens.
Okay.
What I find myself doing to consider to still be productive, because first let me say, a sure way to fail is to work when you feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
If you only work when you're feeling it, you're never going to win. So there's creative and tech, like I said before. And if writing is creative, because writing is my translation of energy,
Okay.
or somebody told me, which was really dope, technically we don't really produce, we reproduce, because all of the materials have been here since the origin of life.
Oh.
We're just retranslating them
That's right.
and representing them again.
I like it.
So when I am not in a space where I'm doing that, it's because there's too much either on my mind or something that is unresolved that I need to fix. So to get right to the point, the question was, how do I get past writer's block? I shift my focus to dealing solely with the tech. So I might do something like a mix. I might build drum kits. I might do anything technical, set myself up a different kind of template for a specific genre, something like that. And then I might need to go be inspired.
Okay.
So if I'm not feeling inspired by life itself or whatever I'm dealing with, I can go be inspired. But I make sure I do that tech first because I don't want to lose productivity time.
Okay.
And then I make sure I get out of the studio.
Right.
Get out of
Right.
the studio. I might go watch something on somebody else that created something, a movie outside, whatever. Have a conversation.
Yeah. Some producers, man, they sit in that box like
Can't do
all
that.
day.
Yeah, you can't
All
do
day,
that.
and like they just have company come to them. Like they
Yeah.
they experience the outside world by having us come to them, and that's why it's always parties in the studio. Not always. I
Yeah.
don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always telling people, no, we're not just partying in the studio.
Right.
But I'm saying, but there is that element where, they want people around, pretty girls, the hype men, the people, or even the, artists that wants to create. A lot of writers, sometimes they want us all around so they can keep getting inspiration because they never leave that box. But you
Right.
say you get out of there.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to, and like we're all creatives.
Right.
So whatever, I mean, at some part we're creating, even if you're a technical person, there comes some point where you might have to make some type of creative choice with regards to your creation.
Okay.
So to me, yeah, I first I engage in the tech so I can feel productive.
Okay.
Because then you begin to feel bad. You begin to feel like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I couldn't get nothing done today. So I'm like, all right, well, I finished 2 mixes or I did this. Now let me go find a way to be inspired.
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Yes. What else we got, Tina?
Okay, of all of your accolades and achievements, celebrated one that is your favorite one?
Oh, that's a good question. First, let me say, if I had to think accolades, that's a dangerous space because when you begin to think accolades, you think about what you've done and not about what you're doing.
Right.
So I don't spend a lot of time looking at anything that I've done. I think my biggest accolade that I have to say is being present in this moment. That's my biggest accolade.
Yay.
Is to be present in this moment.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Yep. I love it.
Okay, I've done another one.
All right.
Okay, many artists have causes that they support. Do you have a cause? What is your platform for giving back?
Oh, I love it. Okay. Okay, I got some big ideas.
Okay, go
but
ahead,
before
go
I
ahead.
get to all the big ideas,
Okay.
before I get to all the big ideas, the real platform, as I mentioned before, for my entire identity as an artist is spread light. And like I said, spread light is spirit being in control of body and mind while I intentionally do what I can to impact the design. That's what spread light means. So that's what I'm doing. As far as where can I do that at? I can do that any place that I step foot
Okay.
and wherever I'm present. But I am interested in partnering with other people that share that vision and share that idea.
Okay.
So music is my sword.
All right.
Music is how I'm able to tear new territory. And I'm looking forward to being able to do collaborations with other people musically to do that. But the biggest thing is partnering with people who have a reach and an influence, whether it's a nonprofit organization that might be able to reach out to people. One thing that I do is every other week I teach kids through my mother has a nonprofit organization
Okay.
called Enhance the Gift. And so I teach kids how to play piano.
Oh, nice.
And you know how to learn theory and
Yeah.
all the kind of things, the things that I learned,
That you
giving
le-
back.
yeah,
so
that-
that's one of the spaces to give back.
Yeah.
And then with my own children, giving to them. You know, that's one of the greatest things.
That's
to
where it
see.
starts.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
to be able to watch them grow and watch them learn and even be able to teach their children, you know, and this legacy continues to grow. So these are all spaces as far as quantifying specifically where it is.
Right.
It's just wherever I'm at and whoever I'm able to connect with, as long as it's about spreading light. That's what it's about as far as the thing.
You got any questions for this brother?
No, he has-
Let Kristen. What you got to ask,
I
Kristen?
just want to know more about the mentoring that you are currently doing. I commend you because a lot of people are not comfortable with speaking about their mental health and kind of the spaces that they were in and kind of how it brought them to where they are now. Do you find yourself mentoring a lot in the entertainment?
The word mentor is tricky because mentor insinuates that there's almost a hierarchy, and I don't like the hierarchy vibe. You know what I'm saying? As far as I understand a story, speaking in the story, there's a hero and then there's a mentor, which gives the hero something to be able to make it through the to the next space. But as a mentor, if I am a mentor in some spaces, it's not something that I self-diagnose myself as. I just like to give. If somebody else takes it that way, maybe they do. You know what I mean? Intentionally, with like the kids that I'm teaching them piano. So I guess in a teaching situation, obviously it would be considered mentoring. But usually in a situation that's outside of like, here's a framework that is a school, that is an academy that we're specifically teaching.
Okay.
I don't know that. I'm just sharing. So some people might take it as mentoring or not. And I think it's just relative. Like I talked about those 6 human needs, and it's just the ability to add value. You know, how do you add value to a situation? If you see something that you need, or that you can, or that you have an opportunity to add value to it, you know, then there's a place that you can get in. So it might not be mentor. It might be mentoring, or it might not be mentoring.
Right,
it just
right.
depends.
Right.
You know, I can't see myself how I might necessarily mentor a old lady in line at the supermarket.
Right.
But we might have a great conversation, and maybe something that I share inspires her.
Right.
Odd story. I was writing Genius, and somebody wrote in and said, when you get writer's block and you get stuck. And I was stuck in this part of the story. And so I went to Walmart, and I was buying some groceries or something. And I get in line, and I forget the dude's name, but it's the cashier at Walmart. I don't know him or anything. And I say, yo, what's your favorite movie? And he tells me what it is, and I'm like, okay, what's your favorite scene? And he's like, tells me what it is, and I'm like, well, hey, look, I'm writing an album, and it's like a movie. So here's the part I'm at. What scene? Tell me what you think about it. And he began to talk, and I got so many ideas, and I was like, dope, nice talking to you. Like, I'll see you next time. I went home and got back in the studio. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I guess in that case, he was my mentor. He was the cashier at Walmart giving me some info. So, you know.
We got one more question from the internet for you.
Yes. What is the one misconception about you?
I don't know. I don't know.
You want me to ask somebody?
Good answer.
You know what? That I don't talk a lot.
Whatever. You know what? What was the inspiration? I mean, sounds like a rhetorical question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. God's Got Me. What? Let me say this. What made you write that song?
Oh, I love that question.
Okay.
This is man.
Okay.
This is $1 million question.
Okay.
God's Got Me. Okay. I started that with. I talked about the sequence of the entire story.
Right.
That this whole album is a story. Of course, I'm releasing each one as a single and a standalone by itself, but if you put it all together, it's a story. So the God's Got Me part is the meeting the mentor part of the story. And I wanted to find what thing can I use to share in this chronology of events. So I wanted it to be first a feeling. That's my writing process. I start with a feeling. I identify whatever the feeling is, and this is my goal: is to take this feeling, whether it's the feeling that I'm having at the moment or the feeling that I want the listener to have, and I make sure that everything in that record supports that feeling.
Right.
That's the rule. That's the boundary, if you will. So the story that came to mind was with my grandmother, because my grandmother passed from cancer.
Okay.
I don't know how many years ago now, but she passed from cancer. And I remember the moments and the feelings that I had in that space. And I talked about even being when I was locked up in that crazy place.
Okay.
My grandmother was one of the people that came to see me. My grandmother, my aunt, of course, my parents and stuff came to see me. But I remember even when she passed, there was this moment I was sitting in the living room and I was playing on my uncle's piano. And so she sent somebody in there, I think my cousin or I think it was her sister that she sent in there and said, tell him don't play right now.
Okay.
So I came in there and I said, hey, Grandma. She said, don't play right now, but at my funeral, I want you to play, but I don't want you to play right now.
Wow.
And that insinuated to me that something was happening that she
Right.
was experiencing
Right.
that she didn't want to happen at that moment.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, wow. And so, and the way she said it, there was something in it, you know. And so it was a really rich moment for me. And I just remember the feeling that I had, and I remember thinking about it. And so I wanted to write about that. We had, going to grandma's house for Thanksgiving dinner was something where all the family could get together, and I talked about like those roots and the bonding and the connection that you have. And so that was one of the spaces that I would have that connection,
Right.
as well as with other family members' houses and other traditions that were set in place. But was specifically talking about grandmas at this time. And so me and my cousins and my uncles and my aunts and parents and grandma and siblings, and we'd all be together, even my children. But they came, obviously they came a little bit later. But this was when I was kind of like younger and growing up. And I remember one of the most important lessons, and I always tell my wife that I got in life, that I didn't even know this was the lesson that I got. Grandma would have us. It was me. It was specifically. Okay, I got a lot of cousins.
Okay.
But the oldest cousins on my dad's side is 4 of us. Me, one of my cousins is a singer, Kiafa, my cousin Ramel, my cousin Ben, and then my little sister Summer, and my cousin Kira. I can go down the whole line, but specifically the older cousins. Grandma would tell us to go light a fire.
Okay.
She had a fireplace in the living room in Linwood. She would want us to come light the fire. So there was a sequence to lighting this fire.
Okay.
And the sequence started with, you have to light the paper first. So first you put the newspaper in there, and then you lay twigs on top of the newspaper. And then you light the newspaper, and then it lights the twigs. And the twigs begin to get hot. Then you get some bigger sticks and you put them on top of the twigs, and those begin to get hot. then ultimately it ends and you're getting a log after the fire is hot enough, and you're putting the log on top of these sticks and the log lights. I didn't know that I was learning one of my most important life lessons. I was just lighting the fire.
Right.
But there was a sequence to this. And so I could have kept throwing newspaper in there and lighting it, newspaper and lighting it. And a lot of people live their life that way. You're just throwing newspaper, throwing newspaper, throwing newspaper, throwing newspaper. But you never get to the log. You're just on the rat race. Or if I put the log in there, meaning I got a big goal and I got a big dream, and I take a cigarette lighter and I sit there and I hold it on the log, it ain't going to never light.
Okay.
Meaning you got to start. You got to start with the smaller things, and you got to be able to ignite those smaller things to ultimately get to the big thing, which is the log. And the log does what? It keeps everybody warm.
Right.
In the house, in the proximity of the fire, in the proximity of the light that's emanating from the fireplace. So here's one of the most important lessons I got. So all of that inspired me to write the song. And the hook in the song, of course, is God's Got Me. And it's to say whatever experience you might be having, whatever you went through, whatever you're going through, you know that I don't even got a trip. Even if it's the coronavirus, God's got you.
Without further ado, let's hear God's Got Me.
I know what circumstances say. Yeah, I know that I'ma be okay. I know sometimes it might get hard. God's got me.
You ain't had a sweet potato pie that tastes like this. Grandma cooking and she just can't miss. Whole family over and she looks so proud. Then she hit a verse, the Lord to make a way somehow. She love family together, we all right here. She been looking forward to this day all year. Keep telling the kids, go play in the back and quit running around where the grown-ups is at. She said 20 minutes and the food will be ready. That was 2 hours ago when the food still ain't ready. Stirring up the greens in that big black pot. Oh, you gon' need some vegetables, like it or not. Food is all ready. Grandma say, everybody to the table, time to pray. She say, no matter what, gotta make a way. And when circumstances come, just remember to say,
I know what circumstances say. Yeah, I know that I'ma be okay. I know sometimes it might get hard. God's got me.
of course we all know that no family is perfect. Grandma say you gotta love him cause family is worth it. Grandma got a call that her grandson tried to end his own life, man, he almost died. Without hesitation, she started to pray. Soon as she got the word, she was on her way. She couldn't believe he had took it that far. She had to go remind him just who we are. Jumped in the car with her daughter, she knew she had to get to him cause she knew what to do. Went to the psych ward, heart full of love. First thing she did was to give him a hug. Gave him the biggest smile that a grandma could give. Reminded him he always got a reason to live. She said, don't forget, gotta make a way. And when the circumstances, just remember to say,
I know what circumstances say. Yeah, I know that I'ma be okay. I know sometimes it might get hard. God's got me.
a few years passed. Grandma went to the doctor and the doctor asked, how did she feel? She told him she felt great. They said they found cancer, hope it's not too late. So they did the surgery, I tell you, Grandma was strong. Pushed right through it, continued to carry on. A few months later, they said it's back again. They looked and said it's spread, and this is probably the end. Sent her back home and said, enjoy the rest. For the last few weeks, you should live your best. Grandma called and told all the family to come. Talked to everybody, one by one. Kept looking at the calendar, said it's so beautiful. Put me in the room and said, I want you to know I love you. I won't forget the words she said. Everybody left except my Uncle Ed. And at the perfect time when everybody left, Grandma decided she would take her last breath. And heaven got an angel and it's all okay. And even through my tears I hear Grandma say,
I know what circumstances say. Yeah, I know that
Got me feeling all good on the inside. You know you're more than just a friend of mine. Got me telling my friends can't live without you. Everything I do, I think about you. I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. Your love's so good, I can't stop praising you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Checking in every day just to see about me. Enemy try to hate, but you won't let them round me. Your love is so good. Everything you say you do, I think I'm gonna tell the whole world about you. I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. Your love's so good, I can't stop praising you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Got to praise you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Anytime we'll play. No matter what I do, I got to praise you. Your love is so amazing. It's so amazing. Your love is so amazing. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Dance when I hear your name. Dance anytime we'll play. Dance no matter what I do, I got to praise you. Your love is so amazing. So amazing. So amazing. Your love is so amazing. Yes, we're back. You know I had to sneak that in there, Devin. You know I had to sneak that song in there. So, what was your experience with that song, Dance? Like, how did that come about?
Well, it all started. No, I was just playing. No, that was our collaboration that we did on your. We didn't put that on the album, right? It was.
It was gonna be. Yeah, it was gonna single. It was gonna be a part of a collection of inspirational songs.
Of songs. Yeah. And so it's something because I remember when we were in there and we were sitting in the room and creating a song. And so we wanted to bring something that, that you could vibe to and party to, and that was the track and the vibe. And we came up with the dance idea.
Yeah.
But I know that for me, that space was actually a really fun space.
Yeah.
Like me and Jay would drive, out to
San Diego.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a burrito spot that y'all put us up on.
Yeah.
And the burrito spot
and
was,
the carne asada fries, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what it was. So that was a lot of fun. And just that whole space, I remember working it. I mean, actually, it was so cool. We stayed over the night at the house. You know what I'm saying? And chill.
Like family.
So it was like family right off the top.
Yep.
And it's funny because you said that when we met. It was like it's like a long lost cousin. Or
right.
something, you know what I'm saying? So we was just chilling and we just hit it off right off the top and we just vibed. So it was just cool. We was out there. So that's what I remember.
Yes.
Mostly about that space. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're a great producer, great songwriter. You and your wife, the team is dynamic. And it first starts with the energy.
Energy is everything.
That I received from you all.
Yeah.
And it made it really easy. You still have those nerves when you first work with someone, but, very quickly it made it very easy for me to work with you.
Right.
And as a producer. And, it was special that you brought your wife and she's who she is.
Right.
Because, in that creative space, there's a lot of competition that we didn't even start as artists amongst each other.
Right.
it's the
Right.
the executives that
Right.
create that thing between us so they can
True.
keep making money and keep us in the dark.
True.
But there's a lot of competition that's unnecessary. But nobody came with that energy. You
Yeah.
could have been like, well, I'm just by my wife, and I'm not gonna give you a good song or whatever.
come on.
But that didn't happen. And then your wife could have been like, who is this heifer?
Right.
But that didn't happen. It was beautiful from the moment. And of course, you guys are on your way down. I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
you know?
that it's funny because that obviously that can be a very bad idea.
Yeah.
To show up to your session, to show up to a session with your wife, that could be a very
Yes.
bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that for everybody.
Right. Like
But you
everybody
gotta-
can't do that.
Yeah, you gotta know.
Right,
You gotta
right.
know what the energy is like.
Yes.
And I happen to be really good at sensing energy
Mm-hmm.
and feeling energy out. And so I thought it would be, times like this gonna be totally straight,
Yeah.
as it was
Yeah.
totally straight. And now it's super cool.
And it's still a bop. Like
And
to
it's-
this day.
To this
it's
day.
still a bop.
To this day.
Right.
So that's what's up, and that's dope.
I also wanted to, just shout you out for. We actually went to Bahrain, like you said.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of musicians there.
Right.
And they all knew you. You
Did
and
they
Jay.
really? Oh,
they
good
all
game.
knew you and Jay. And they
Good
they
game.
always sat claiming. They was like, oh, that's my bro, man.
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
bro.
It's
like
all love.
people from like the UK, South Africa,
Yeah.
Spain, Canada.
Yeah.
They were all claiming you like, oh no, that's my bro, man.
That's love.
And I can't think of his name on keys. From South Africa. He's probably watching too. Like, Emmanuel, is it? I can't. It's gonna come to me. But anyway, he.
I would say, but see, I'm not gonna start trying to name
okay,
names 'cause I know too
but
many.
anyway, he's on keys, but he
Okay.
also plays auxiliary at the same time.
Okay.
And he can sing and he can do a lot. But anyway, he credits a lot to you. He said he just kind of
Dope.
studied when you were around.
Well, you
he
know
said
what?
he didn't
I-
get a chance to be up under you the way he would like to, but
Yeah.
whenever you were around, he said you were very humble. You didn't mind teaching, and you didn't mind being a student. And he said, but he learned from you a lot. So
Well,
you guys, both of you guys, got a lot of shout outs while I was there.
Thank you, and
Yeah.
I'm truly grateful for it. Like I said, like that's really dope to
Yeah,
me. That's the real thing, because that is your connection with people.
Yeah.
And that's, we were talking about mentoring before, and that's why I said it's more like an exchange, because even if I did something that was that inspired somebody or gave somebody an idea, I'm sure they did something that inspired me and gave me an idea.
That's right.
And you just build the connection, and as soon as you lose all the pride and you lose all of the whatever
Yes.
hierarchy and all of the other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you just like, yo, I'm gonna just genuinely be me.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be quirky sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make bad jokes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk too much. I'm gonna say the wrong whatever.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you're comfortable with that, then you can be you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, without further ado, I would love to hear you live, man.
I love to go live.
Man, show 'em
Yeah,
what you got, Debonair.
Let's see what we got. Is this on? Is this thing on? Testing 1, 2.
We're going to get it together over here. Let's see if these keys... Oh, there they go.
Okay, boom.
Can the whole listening audience hear that? From the live to the internet to the phone. Oh, that's beautiful.
Now, what you doing
All
on the?
Cool. Just some ideas.
That's one.
So here's what we're gonna do. Can
Okay.
we do this?
Yeah, we can do
we make it
whatever
like
you
a
want.
concert in here?
Yes, let's do the
All right,
concert,
we're gonna make it
baby.
we're gonna turn up. We need everybody to turn up. We
Oh,
need to pull
Tina's
it
a
in.
singer too. Don't let her.
Okay, we need that. We need
She's
that.
a
You're
singer,
recruited.
vocal coach.
You're
yeah,
recruited.
she's everything.
We all in.
everything.
Huh?
That's okay. You go ahead, Devin.
Oh, you're not getting okay. So the most important part of the track
Okay.
is the groove.
All right.
So let's start with the groove.
All right.
So 1, that's the groove.
Y'all gonna have to turn my mic down.
You can clap your hands.
Okay, now check this out.
Uh-huh.
So y'all words.
Uh-huh.
Here's y'all words.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's a simple. It's
Okay.
live good, spread light, and live good. Like
Live good, spread light, and live
that's
good.
the words.
Okay.
Live good, spread light, and live good. Live good, spread light, and live good.
Hey.
Live good, spread light, and live good. That's it. Live good, spread light, and live good. Dope. Live good, spread light, and live good. Keep it
Live
rocking. I'm
good,
gonna bring the
spread
keys
light, and
in.
live good. Live good, spread light, and live good.
Live good, spread light, and live good.
Live good,
Live good.
Hey.
Live good,
spread light, and live good. Live good, spread light, and live good. Live good and spread light and live
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Live good and spread light and live
Okay, I'm
good.
gonna come in with the verse.
Live Live.
My
Hey.
family genes is true religion, motivated by street talking and hooping Christians. Once blinded by superstition, wishing a ribbon in the sky would tie me to my vision. I wonder, is my living in vain? Is my living in vain? I know one day I'll be gone. Will they mention my name? Will they talk about my smiles or my tension and pain? Or how I spread light to the world, receiving peace in exchange? This my conscious speaking. This my conscious thinking. My brain spilling, my spirit like my condom leaking. I'm pregnant with vision, labeled with living for legacy. I got BCs and essays for ignorance, testing me. What they say when I'm gone is that I ran a human race and then dropped the relay baton. Careful to pass it on, and I live life. Destiny's plight response. Please just live life for lives that echo beyond me. Now that's legacy. All I want to do is leave a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good.
Okay. Live
All
good,
I want to
spread
do
light,
is
and
leave a
live good.
legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. I said, all I want to do is leave a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. All I want to do is leave a legacy.
Live life and live.
Spread good. Right, we gotta get that hook right. All I wanna do is leave a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. I said, all I wanna do is leave a legacy. Live good, spread light, and live good. Yeah. All I wanna do is leave a legacy.
Live good, spread light, and live good.
Hey, all I wanna do is leave a legacy. Okay,
Live
verse
good,
2.
Hey. Hey.
Guided by light. This is the play. I'm gonna try again. Guided by light. This is the play. Yeah. Say, guided by light. This is the play. Knowledge excites. Passion ignites the soul of an individual seeking the right. I ain't gonna do the second verse.
What?
Guided by light. Okay, here we go. It's hard to do it and play it. Do the hook. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me break it. Here we go.
Oh, we messing your hook
No,
up.
y'all with me. Y'all with me. Here we go. Guided by light. This is the play. Knowledge excites. Passion ignites the soul of an individual seeking the right. I'm willing to fight all the ignorance I have been witnessing as I watch some intentional plots. Breaking down of a culture to niggas and thoughts. Ignorance is prevailing when wisdom is not. I'm using my hands intelligent, watching the clock. So I live wise, speak wise, know thyself. Inspire others to grow while I grow myself. Love and light is my currency, I grow my wealth. One man can change the world is what I told myself. So I'm fighting off the demons, evading knows the scheming. Earth, wind, the fire, live in my reasons. I keep believing life has a reason. Spring but no fall, live in my season. California dreaming, down the road I'm easing. A lion, the Tin Man, Nipsey Russell was the Tin Man.
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle got his name from Nipsey Russell.
Hey.
The Tin Man was a hustler.
Uh-huh.
His death was treason.
Uh-huh.
The Scarecrow,
Uh-huh.
Michael Jackson and
Yes.
The Wiz.
Yes.
The Scarecrow, suspect activity with his leaving.
Yes. Yes.
Staples Center, that's twice in a decade,
Yes.
is filled with grieving. And that's enough to offend you to run a victory lap while the marathon continues.
Yes.
I said,
Live life.
that's enough to offend you to run a victory lap while the marathon continues. And
Live life.
I said, that's enough to offend you to run a victory lap while the marathon continues. And
Live life.
that's enough to offend you to run a victory lap while the marathon continues. That's legacy. All I want to do is leave a legacy.
Hey.
Live good, spread light, and live good.
Hey.
I said,
live,
all I want to do is leave a legacy.
live good, spread light, and live good.
Hey, I said, all I want to do is leave a legacy.
Live good, spread light, and live good.
All I want to do is leave a legacy.
Live good, spread light, and
Can I
live
play
good. Hey.
Live good, spread light, and live good.
Yes. Guys, give it up for Devoneer Rhymes. Oh my God, this has been such a wonderful day, a wonderful moment with you. I'm glad
Thank
you
you for
came
having
and
me.
shared, with us some of your love and light,
Dig,
which gave us life.
dig.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Can you do me a favor and tell the people where can they find you?
You can find me if you just sense my energy. No, I'm saying- No, you
I
can
set myself up for that one.
right. No, you can find me online. My Instagram is Devoneer. That's spelled Devinaire. Devon means poet. Air is what I'm using to represent God, poet of God. Rhymes. Official at Instagram.com. So you can find me Devonair Rhymes at Instagram.com. You can Devonair Rhymes Official at Instagram.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on Facebook at Devonair Rhymes Official on Facebook. And you can find me on Twitter at I am Devonair. I am Devonair. Is no E on the Devonair on Twitter, just because I don't want to be associated with all the other Devonairs. So I have to do it that way.
Where can we find the new single?
That will be on all of your streaming platforms, on all of your streaming services. You can go to my socials. There's links. It comes out Tuesday. The single is God's Got Me. You can, if you just go to my socials, you can find it.
Okay.
And that will guide you everywhere that you need to go. So Devonair Rhymes Official on Instagram, Devonair Rhymes Official on Facebook. If you go there, you'll find all the links. You can also, if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or Deezer or wherever you listen to music at,
Yes.
you can find it there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Dr. Chris, where can they find you?
Oh, no. You can find me here. Let me get the phone number for you. That phone number would be 646
Okay.
378
Right.
0355.
Press 1 to be heard.
And press 1 to be heard.
You have been tuned into Drip the Mic Network. This has been 2020 Vision. And my name is Amira the Songstress. We'd like to thank you for watching and listening. I said it twice the same way.
It's all good.
Listening.
We know what it said. We know what it
We know
meant.
what you meant.
You can find me at Amira the Songstress on everything. You can just Google me if you want, and everything will come up. But I'm on IG, Facebook, and all of the musical platforms. And stay focused. Hello, you guys. It's me, Amira the Songstress, and you've been tuned into 2020 Vision. I'd like to thank you guys for chiming in with us. I love all your support. But remember, subscribe and also ring that bell so that you can get notifications when we upload a new video. And remember, stay focused like 2020 Vision.